Before I start this video, really, I just want to get a couple things out of the way. I feel like I'm on a pretty big time crunch making this because this event came out on like March 13th. I think that was the exact date that it came out last year. So this stream is like exactly a year ago from whenever this video is coming out. And as of today, the date is March 4th. So I have 11 days to make this thing, and that's nice. And at the same time, balancing school, which everybody knows isn't really that fun. But yeah, and also clicking on YouTube to come find this video, anyways, and then getting uh, addicted on something else doesn't help either. So like that's slowing down the production even more of this. But yeah, so the Mega Hunt was basically probably one of my favorite Roblox events that happened. And it happened last year, and it was for $1 million. And basically, I'm just gonna ignore all the normal tokens because, like, yo, who cares about those? You know, those weren't particularly difficult. But we're gonna be focusing on the mega tokens because that was the more interesting part of this event. And I'm just gonna give my insight into each game and each badge because I think I'm making this video more for me rather than for you. But this is also a recap for you, so I'll just be talking about like my experiences during the event, like playing it, like what I was thinking and stuff, right? That I may or may not have said in the video. So um, yeah, I don't know how long this is gonna be, but hopefully you watch to the end. And also, if you're here, please subscribe. That would be pretty nice, and like the video so it spreads around. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, let's get into it. So the first game that we start off with here, as you can see, is SpongeBob Tower Defense. Not a particularly bad game. I think it was relatively new at this time. And first, what you had to do is you had to just queue into like one of the regular like tower defense thingies, right? But I didn't realize this, and when I was watching the tutorial, because not it was a Thursday, right? And of course, you have school Friday. I had school Friday, right? And it's like I don't even know what it is. At this point, it's like 10:30, and I'm supposed to be like off my computer by 9:30. So things weren't looking good. But like this is an exception. This happened like once every like never, because it never happened. But like it's pretty late at night, so you could understand why my brain is kind of fried. But of course, it obviously would give you a custom loadout because it wouldn't make you do this with your own gear, because that would be kind of annoying to grind everything out again. So yeah, it also didn't show you like which particular like order the tokens were in for this event. So you had to kind of figure out the games like which order they were in yourselves, because the hunt had an act like this. So this event had a hub where you could see these different clues after you got the badges. So like after I got the first badge, then a clue would like pop up somewhere else in the map, and then like you'd like decipher it or like try and figure out what game it's pointing to or whatever. And then inside of that game, you would try and see like, oh, what's different? Like, is there anything new? Oh, there's something different here. Now this is what I have to do, and that's kind of how this entire event worked. But the hints were very like secretive, and of course people like teamed up, so that they could all go to the finale, which was in Roblox headquarters, right? Um, and it was also for $1 million, so I wouldn't blame them. But people like Roby and whoever else was at the top, they were doing pretty some. They were pretty big gatekeepers. But yeah. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the first thing that you had to do in this event was go dig these little treasure piles, and then a treasure chest would pop up, and then in one of the treasure chests there would be like a map, right? So I forget what the clue was that pointed to this game. Okay, here we go. So for the first hint, I didn't actually like know this one. I just like saw this video. And it was like, cuz like keep in mind that at this time, right? I didn't really know like what this whole event was doing. I didn't know that like they were like mega tokens. I didn't know how you got the $1 million. But so yeah. So basically, as you can see here, so basically like yeah, like at this time, I don't want to spoil like the bottom stuff, so I kind of have to move it up here. But at this time, basically, I didn't really know like how you would actually get the $1 million. So I thought it was everything. You needed all the standard tokens and mega tokens, but you really only just needed the mega tokens. You didn't need the standard tokens. So for the first game for SpongeBob Tower Defense, how they figured it out was it was posted on Roblox's Twitter, and it said this, right? And apparently it's an anagram. So like if you rearrange the letters in this thing, you get this: Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? And it's pretty obvious to tell which game it is from that. Um, so obviously it was pointing to SpongeBob Tower Defense, but anyway, like I was saying, the first thing you have to do is dig up these little red X's, right? And then in one of them, a map would pop up. I'll find where I did it. Okay, right here. So this is what the map looked like. So basically, it's like this is the mega token, right? And it's pointing to like the back of this ship, right? So like, yeah. So you want to go to the trading hub because that ship was actually the trading hub, right? So like, if you see, oh wow, hey, I've seen this ship somewhere before. Where could this be? And it's pointing to like right here. It's pointing to this door specifically, right? So behind that door is probably the next clue for the token, right? So but like of course that door needs like a key or whatever to get into. So or maybe it was pointing to the Flying Dutchman actually. I don't even know, but people who played this game before, I'm sure they knew what to do. But basically behind like the barrels or behind like the chest on one of the sides, there would be a key behind, and then that would you would be able to unlock this door right there from it. Um there it is. Yeah.
Find the password that you will be lost in fragrance through and through.
And essentially this was just a giant maze that I spent like a good like 15 minutes doing, right, until I finally found the door over here. um but this maze was pretty annoyingly long, and also because I like events like these, I did the entire like mega token on my alt account, but it was like I didn't realize that the maps were actually randomized, like the maze was randomized. So when I was trying to do it on my alt account, it was like a different pattern. So like I was like trying to follow the same pattern that I did in this video. I was wondering why it wasn't working, but then now I realize, I guess. And then after you did this, you know, you go here, it teleports you here, and then you just watch this little cutscene, and then you just have to do another like 20-minute long tower defense. And I'm not gonna show you the whole thing for the sake of time in this video and time that I have and time that I don't want to spend editing this. But eventually, what was it? It was like 25 waves or something, I think. Or was it 30? No, 20 waves. My bad. Right here. So you just defeat the boss, which is Smitty Werbin Jaggerman Jensen. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty long name. And also my shirt despawned for some strange reason. Whatever. And then after that, it would give you this new map, right? So it's okay, the next clue is inside of this looking cave with the jellyfish looking thing, right? So this cipher 2 is you go back into the hunt map, right? Or back into Bikini Bottom. And you wait, I think you could actually see it here. Actually no, you can't. You can't see it there. But anyways, okay, I don't even know why so right here, there's a cave, right? And then you can see there's a jellyfish right up here. I don't know if you can see it well. So this is a jellyfish guarding the cave, and this is where it was pointing to, obviously. So, and then you go in here, right? And then you just walk down there. And then you get to the pedestal, right? And I was like, oh, what do you even do here? And I was standing here for like a couple minutes. But then I was like, oh, you gotta emote because I like went back and watched the video, right? And then finally, you know, inside the locker, you get the first mega token. And that's the first mega token, SpongeBob Tower Defense. And I want you to keep in mind that at this point, it's probably like 12 a.m. because I started doing this thing at like 4 hours and like 50 minutes. And this stream went for like another like 50 minutes or so. So it was like, yeah, like, wow, it was pretty brutal for me. And it's like 12 a.m. on a Friday morning, and I'm going to bed. Have to wake up in like this is like 10th grade, so I had started school at like 7:50, so I needed to like get up at like 6, so I got like 6 hours of sleep that day, which is probably better compared to most people. But yeah, so then the next game that they did was Untitled Tag Game, and I remember seeing this in the hub, right? When you join the hub, and then you here when you join the hub, right, and then you go here, you can see in the background, right, this whole platform is rising up, right, and then like it's like a elevator of sorts, right, and it would like basically teleport you up, but I didn't go up it at this time because like I was like, it was like I said, late at night. But anyways, yeah, but then up there there would be this image on one of the platforms or so on the side, and then it would say beware of the red herring, right? And keep in mind, fish was one of these games, so everybody's like, oh, red herring, that's a fish, and that is the actual fish in fish. I think I could be wrong about that. So everybody's like, oh, it must be fish, but actually, this is graffiti, right? And also, and in graffiti terms, this is known as a tag, as seen right here. And one of the games in this event was Untitled Tag Game. And then after like people ended up figuring it out, right? Then they were like, oh, tag, Untitled Tag Game, right? But like I saw this in like I saw this at like the morning, and I was like, oh shoot, they figured out the next two games. And spoiler, the next game is Pressure, right? But we'll get to that in a bit. So then I had to wait through the entire school day before I could even start doing this, right? Um, in one of the maps, there would be a portal that you would have to go through for the mega token. But I'm pretty sure this portal would only spawn after you got the first token, because like they were linked to each other, right? Because this event is like for $1,000,000, and like I said before, each of the games, like you don't know which order the games are played in. So I always like Untitled Tag Game. I really like this game. I think it's pretty cool. So I had a lot of fun doing this event, right? Yo, go in the portal, bro. Okay, there you go.
And I'm shirtless.
But they had this really cool cutscene, but I'm gonna like skip it for now because this is just a recap. You know, if you want to watch the actual thing, I suggest you go find this stream and watch it. You know, and like it and subscribe. Yeah, shameless plug, but. But anyways, there was some like storyline or whatever to this. You would like wake up, and then basically everything looks really nice, and then like you get a screwdriver, use some sort of drone, and unlock some things, and you basically just play around the map. You tag some of the guards to knock them out with the screwdriver when you get close enough to them. There's a bit of parkouring, right? And then towards the end, you just have to like run away, and then eventually you just like steal the token from, I think, like the dude that was like helping you or whatever.
Okay.
Like right here.
Containment breach.
And then you just jump with the token. And that's the second mega token, right? That one went by pretty fast actually. I did that in like 3 minutes, but editing it will probably be like 1 or 2. But I really like Untitled Tag Game, but the reason I'm not going in depth is because, you know, go watch the video if you want to actually see what happens in the thing. I mean, rather the stream. Go watch the stream if you want to see what happens in Untitled Tag Game of this event. But also at this stage, I didn't realize they were doing it where they released 3 games on the first day. And when I say release 3 games, I mean the first 3 mega tokens, and then they released 4 more mega tokens like 2 days later, and then like maybe like another 3 days later they do 5 tokens, 6 tokens, and 7 tokens. And on the last day they did 7 tokens, all like at one shot. But like you'd have to like, of course, progress through the standard order that you've been doing, right? But at this point in time, right, when after they figured out SpongeBob Tower Defense, they figured out like Pressure and UTG overnight. So those 2 games are already done by like the 14th. So like Friday morning, they both of the games were found out, or maybe Pressure was found like before noon. I don't really remember, because Pressure was a kind of complicated and annoying to do. But Pressure is a good game, but the event was kind of hard, and a lot of people got stuck on it. But I'm just grateful that I was able to finish it, because if you can see here, I spent like an hour and a half doing it or whatever. How long? I don't even know how long that is. But going back here, oh shoot. Okay, well I just spoiled it. The next game is Chained, but whatever. So there would be this radio, right? And then there was like a Morse code in the radio apparently, and this translated to, I guess, let Vand, and it's a zone in Pressure. So that's how people figured out how the next game was Pressure. But keep in mind, even if you figure out what the next game was, that doesn't necessarily mean you would know what to do in that game specifically to get the token, right? But like at this stage, it's not necessarily like actually it kind of is. People are starting to understand how the event was working, right? At the end of Pressure, when like the next 4 games released, then people started really understanding how it worked, and of course I started understanding how it worked too. But I think I like spent like 20 minutes just sitting AFK, like right here, figuring out like watching a video, figuring out what to do in pressure because there was a lot to memorize. Like I watched a video that morning, but it was like I was still like really lost and confused what to do. But oh no, I actually did the stuff beforehand, and then I watched the video. So like, there's some stuff that you had to do in the lobby. I'm pretty sure you had to like go around the map, and then like you see like notes like these, right? And there was like four of them, and then once you found all four, the codes were randomized. So once you found all four, you would string them together and then type it in like, I think, no, you would string them together, and then you have to remember it. And then when you actually enter the game, then there would be like a, I'm pretty sure there would be like an area for you to put it in. So I think it's, yeah, back this way. Oh yeah, here. Okay, so this was the area, right? And then those eight numbers, you would string them together, right? So like you could go watch the video to see where all the locations. I mean the stream. You could go watch the stream to see where all the locations were, I guess, if you're really interested. But yeah, and then you put it in, and then you would get this decoder thing, and then along the way there would be like specific areas where this like decoder would en- uh like encrypt the code. I mean, wait, no, it would decrypt the encrypted code, um, and then you would like be able to put the finished code in like a keypad along the way. But there was like really annoying monsters. And also, if you don't know, this game is like basically like Doors, but instead of like in a hotel and in the mines, you're in a submarine underwater, um, and you're like going to like a research facility or something. But this game is really difficult for not only just me, but a lot of people as well. And this guy was very annoying, especially because you had to keep looking at him, and then he would hit you and then help you back up, pat you off on the shoulders, and then do the same thing again repeatedly. And that's why I got stuck on this game for quite a while. But let me go back. So yeah, there would be different spots. The doors were set where you use the decoder. So like here, and then there would be like a radio like this, and you have to like get it into the perfect area. So like right here, where it's pink, and then you turn it on, and then it would decode, right?
Okay. Here we go.
And then that's one out of the five. So there's five different rooms basically where you would decode it, and then let's see, where is it? It should be like it after the last door. This guy finally stops chasing you, and like the guy that I don't forget what the anomaly's name is, but the dude that resembles Door not Door, the dude that resembles Rush from Doors in this game, he would be the dude that you follow. Oh right,
Decoder.
he would be the dude that you follow.
Now.
So right here, so you walk down some staircases instead of going like the normal way, and then it would bring you to this keypad, and that's where you put the
So basically just the colors inverted.
these
So
these images inside. So it was just inverted color, so you can see the star here is correlates to this, whatever this anglerfish correlates to this, this yuhabaha looking eyes correlates to this. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
and then this, and then that.
And then the door would open, and then basically you'd be forced to. So like that part was hard enough to even get to this stage, and I'm pretty sure if you like leave the game, all your progress gets dumped out. But then you would get to the really difficult part, and this was the really difficult part. So basically, wait, let me remember what you had to do here. So you had to collect these 30 of these like soul wisp looking things. I don't even remember what they were. Wait, what was it? Wait, I just saw. Intensity increase. So you had to increase. So they were like intensity increasers. So you had to collect 30 of them, and then after you collected 30, then you would be able to get the mega token. But all this time, there's like you see these four stages. They would like increasingly get more difficult. So when you collect like a certain number, let's say the first was like I forget what it was, but like let's say it was like 8, then like there would be like a new thing, right? So like you would have to deal with this guy and Rush and like hide in the lockers while also staring at this guy, right? But then like maybe like the water would rise, and then maybe the oxygen would deplete, and you need to like fill in your oxygen and stuff. And it would just be like a lot more difficult than it had to be. So I think I spent quite a while on this. Yeah. Well, actually, it wasn't that bad. I did it relatively fast compared to other people, cause like most other people they like were really struggling on this, and there was like a lot of hate comments toward this game because people were very angry that it was very difficult. And you'd basically find the intensity increasers in the lockers, and I was like laser focused on this. So like right here. So like after you collect like 7, right? Then you unlock the first like um intensity checkpoint or whatever. Not a checkpoint, but like you unlock the first like intensity like real increase in stage. And it was like so like before you only had to deal with that dude that was chasing you, and then once you collected 7, now like the dude that like makes you like have to hide in a locker or else you die to him would like spawn in, right? And then after you get like 14, right? Then you would like be like forced to put on an oxygen mask, right? And then there would be like these little oxygen tanks that were pretty difficult to like see in like the corner, and you would have to like find those while still like looking for the right door, right? So, and then when you collect like 21, uh, the like lava would start pouring from the lava would start like pouring from the ceiling. This guy would be jumping down, and you have to flash him with your like light and whatnot.
Oh my god, I saw it. I saw the oxygen.
Fortunately for you,
Yeah. As you could tell, it was pretty annoying. But yeah, eventually you can see I'm getting hopeful at 28, 29, and I have to keep flashing that dude. And then there's 30. So now I just have to make it to the end. But you could also die here if he like came and killed you, like right there. But after he went, then he wouldn't be able to spawn anymore, I'm pretty sure. So you just have to walk a couple more rooms. And here we go. Then you walk down, and then you get to this area, and then you just walk across the bridge, and it gets a little bit like, you know, like funky, and your screen shakes and whatnot. But then you eventually end up grabbing the token, and boom, one of the hardest games in this entire event was done. And then after this, I think I stopped streaming them because the videos, I mean, not the video, the games started releasing on like separate days, and I just didn't feel like streaming it anymore. So if I'm correct, the first 3 games released on the Thursday that it released, and then when did this video come out? Recorded an hour after it came out, so March 16th. So if the 13th was a Thursday, the 14th was a Friday, 15th was a Saturday, 16th was a Sunday. So there's like a 3-day gap in between, right? And then the next 4 badges would release on actually wait, before I talk about that, let me go back here. So essentially after each batch, yeah, I'll call them batches. So after each batch of badges, like the first day it was 3 badges in the first batch, the second it was 4 badges, the third it's 5 badges, and so on, right? So then you would like go to the hub after you got like the batch, and then you would have to do like this little like puzzle thing, right? So the difficulty would be like extreme, and then it would be like hard, and then it would be like easy, right? But like there would be like a time limit before it would change to like easy or like hard or whatever. So like as you can see, like it's hard difficulty, which means that like 2 hours previous it would have changed from extreme to hard, right? And like whatnot. But like because I was forced to record this the following day, I wasn't able to like get the extreme difficulty in, so like I would be kind of lagging behind everybody. But essentially none of this really mattered until the last day. Like it doesn't matter how slow you were, like you could have done all like 17 of the previous ones first, right? Oh, all 18 of the previous ones first. You could have done them on like the day before the final one released, but the day that the final one released, that's the day that everything counted, right? So yeah. So basically, for the first puzzle, you just had to push all these cubes where it would like line up in all the green spaces, and it was like okay. It wasn't the worst thing. It wasn't the worst puzzle that there could have been. And then I think I just continued like playing the games, because I didn't finish all of the normal tokens at this point. But
I'm just really.
um, yeah, so that's the first puzzle done. Um, because I did it in hard mode, it wasn't particularly difficult, right? But like some of the later puzzles really get kind of difficult for me. Um, but yeah, but not yet. So like if you see like then after you've completed the puzzle, you would be able to move on to the next zone, right? Did I buy the pack yet? No, I didn't buy the pack. Okay. And then this would be the next zone, right? So like there would be a timer here, and after this timer counted down, then the next four badges would release, right? So like then we get to the next clue, which is right here. So basically, I remember this on a wall. There was these emojis, right? And we had to figure out what these emojis meant to in order to find the next game. And I don't know what people were really thinking of, but here's the explanation. The emojis are referring to units of length. So horse length, I guess, is 8 feet. A rod is 16 and a half feet. A hand is 1/3 feet. And of course, a foot, which adds up to 66 feet. And apparently, 66 feet is the length of a chain unit. And one of the games was actually called Chained. So that would be pointing to this next one, right? So basically, this game was pretty much impossible if um, you needed a second person in order to do this game, because this is a two-player obby game, right? And if you didn't have a second person, you would not be able to do this. And here's the thing. In order to even be able to get to this game in the first place, you actually needed the first 3 badges. So before you even got to this game, you had to get SpongeBob Tower Defense, UTG, and Pressure before you could even think about doing this game. And then you would have to find somebody that was like competent enough to actually like do it with you. So I found this person, Rain's Future. So shout out to them a year later um, for like helping me do this. I don't know where the audio is. Um, but yeah, so basically, yeah, I paired with them. And you had to, is the audio not? I'm just tweaking. You had to go, basically, if you zoom out, this like mountain is actually like in the shape of a skull, and you had to go into the skull's left eye. There was like one clue that figured out how to do that, but there's more to this recording, right? Because like I said in the description, like recorded an hour after it came out, right? Because it actually was like an hour after it came out. Um, but like when like people were figuring it out, right? Like the skull eye was like supposed to teleport people to this area, but it wasn't, and it was kind of glitched. But like when I was just like watching Creekcraft stream, because he's like, you know, he's the dude that like had a lot, and he was like connected with all the top people and whatnot. I have no idea where the audio is. I think the audio should come in at like some point here. Um, but basically, you just have to like do the obby with your teammate helping you, and then if it like bugged out, then you would have to like restart, right? But at this point, I was still like kind of slow. Like I wasn't particularly fast at this part. Um, I will spoil though. I was doing really well in one of the parts. Not this part though, unfortunately. But one of the parts I was doing really well. Yeah, so then you would die, and then basically you know, just you just keep progressing through the obby. Um and there would be checkpoints along the way, so it wouldn't be like impossible, but like it would still be pretty difficult nonetheless. What does it say? Oh yeah, so I don't know why there's no audio at all. That's kind of strange. But there's like different, I don't know. It was just basically a giant obby that you had to do. And then once you and your partner beat it, then um you get the badge right here. I think that's actually what I made as a thumbnail. Except I like changed it a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, that was Mega Hunt number 4. I don't know where the audio is. Is there audio in this one? Oh, okay, here. So, oh yeah. So in the videos I actually like put it in step form so you could like watch these, cuz these are more clear than the streams what to do. But you can still figure out what to do in the streams if you watch the streams. But before we get to that, let's look at the next clue. So right here, it was a chessboard, right? And this is like really smart. Like it's crazy how people like figure this out. But so this position on the board is called the Brisbane Bombshell, and it's a match played between these two people, and they're known for their rivalry, right? And the puzzle was kind of like difficult to figure out because like people didn't really like understand what this meant, and also I don't think the chess map and Rivals came out yet, so like they didn't know. I forgot what game people thought this was, but at the time people thought this was a different game, not Rivals. But yeah. But anyways, Roblox tweeted it was a great game between the two blank, and the blank fit Rivals, like Rivals, I'm pretty sure, and that just pointed to Rivals. So here like you have to figure out what to do here, and this was like kind of confusing, but basically in the practice range you see these targets around, right? So like you know how they're in the plus shape, right? So like it looks like this. Some of them would be in like an X shape, right? And you could hear I have Creekcraft in the background, right? So basically you just want he's lying. You didn't have to shoot all the targets. You just have to shoot the ones that were like mislabeled. So like if you see this one is in the shape of a plus, right? Let me see if I find one that's in the shape of an X. Okay, never mind. I guess I did. I guess I cut that part out. But after you do that, then this wall would open up, right? And then you would have access to this. And after you unlock this room, then I guess this chicken would spawn in the lobby. Oh no, this chicken was already there for the actual thing. And then you would talk to him, and you still need the previous 4 tokens in order to even get to this stage, right? And you just like follow the dialogue, right? You need to go into a 3v3 round and select the specific map, the bridge map, and then I think you just need to get a certain amount of kills, right? So you see the special mission on the side, you have to fill this bar up, so 15 kills. And blueprints are dropped basically. Okay, I lied. You don't have to get kills, you just need to like the blueprint would spawn when somebody died. I think even if your teammates died, there would be a blueprint that spawned, and you just had to like collect them, right? So like once you collect enough, you talk to the chicken again, and then you just have to do this boss fight. And when you beat the boss fight, it was like you would basically get the token. So oh yeah. Oh, I haven't used this in a while. Yeah. Don't mind me. I'm just liking my own comment. Chill. It's not that deep. But anyways, so yeah, that was this game. I like this game. It was fairly simple. It didn't take that long, and although the clue was a little difficult to get, Roblox cleared it up because obviously it's kind of hard to figure it out. But I'm glad that they cleared it up because this game actually wasn't bad. It wasn't like really difficult. It was pretty doable. And then I think at Clip It, like Creekcraft was like ahead of me on this. So like on this day, the Sunday, I was like kind of behind. I think the last game on Sunday was World Zero. Yeah, it was World Zero. So for the first day, right? The first day, oh, excuse me. The first day was SpongeBob Tower Defense, UTG, and Pressure. And then the second day, which is Sunday, the first day was Thursday. The second day was Sunday. It would be Rivals, Clip It. No, it would be, sorry, Chained, Rivals, Clip It, and then World Zero, right? So this is Clip It, the 6th one. So there was only a total of 7 that would be out after this day. And then this Clip It badge was like really weird. It was like there would be like a riddle, right? And then there was like, because in this game there's an outfits tab down here, you could search up like specific items, and then you have to like wear these specific items in order, and then like go to a specific scene, and then like take a picture, and then like the next clue would unlock. It was kind of weird, but like you'll see. So like here, let me go to it. So you had to oh, I'm dripped out, man. You had to go here, and also they made it a little easier because you only had to wear items made by Roblox, and you don't have to obviously spend Robux. You could put on any item here, I think. But you'd have to put on like the where is it? You have to like put in I think there was an area where you could like specifically like filter it, right? Yeah, right, like right here. You would search up like the big head, right? And then you look for the one that was made by Roblox itself. and then you would take a picture and continue, right? Okay, I don't think it was that one. I don't. Here we go. The bigger head. The bigger head was the one, and then it was made by Roblox, as you can see. All these items were like the off sale ones, and then after you do that, then the next clue would unlock, right? Wait, let me see.
So you need.
the place.
Let me touch it, guys. Oh, there we go.
There we go. So
Okay,
when you
so
continue, then
you
it would
had
be
it as
then
well,
I'm
so-
pretty sure it would be a new clue, right? And then he was already ahead of me at this time, and I think he already started World Zero before I finished, and like it's kind of annoying in the background hearing like both of us talking, right? So then you would just like basically put on a bunch of different avatar items, and then like go to the different sceneries and whatnot, and then after you did everything, then it would give you the token.
That's it. I got it.
And this game was like really easy, and it wasn't particularly difficult to figure out. I would say this is probably the easiest game out of the 25. It was the easiest game to do, but I would say in terms of difficulty, there was difficulty in figuring out what to do, and then there was difficulty in actually doing it, right? So like there's some of the games like Bayside High School, for example, I really, really, really hated that one. Um, because like I think that it was a little complicated, but like that's just my opinion. So like let me be. But things like this was just pretty easy. But there's some that were difficult to figure out, like Bayside High School. And then there was like others that was like difficult to do, like Pressure or Infection Gunfight, that were like really annoying, right? But we'll get to those when we get to those. So yeah, so that is Mega Token 6. Oh, I forgot to go over the clue, right? But basically it was basically a TikTok scroll, and it was like representing the clipping mechanic. It was pretty easy to figure out because the only other game this could have been was the I forgot. I think it was called IT Girl, right? Yeah, that was it. Um, but like this looked more like Clip It than it did IT Girl. So the next one, oh wow, this is pretty long. So it was whatever this riddle was, and essentially it described the game progression. So there's like so like after so like the first part, right? So like this is representing the tutorial. This is representing like um Crescent Cove, Ember Sky Jungle, blah 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 blah. So that's how people figured out it was World Zero, and you would only really know that if you actually played the game. So yeah. So I actually forget what you had to do in this game. I think you had to go and like collect three things and then like put them together and yada yada yada, right? But yeah, so then it would portray these like three different locations, right? And then you'd have to get the three shards. I forget. I think it was like a green and a blue and a purple shard, kind of like RB battles, or maybe it wasn't, and I'm just lying. Maybe it's like a red, green, and blue or whatever. I think it was red, green, blue actually. I don't even remember. But you'd have to like go collect all three shards, and then when you collected all three of them, you would you would return to here, and then I think I actually figured out how to do this part before Creekcraft, right? I figured it out on my own. Um, so there'd be like a circle, and then you just have to like I think you have to like add all the numbers or something. Yeah, with the same color. So like it was kind of weird. But after you did that, then it would like teleport you to the boss fight. Yeah. And then after you beat the boss fight, you get the token. Now the boss fight took me astronomically long. I'm pretty sure I just cut it down in the video for like time purposes. But like the boss fight took me so long that like most of the other people beat it before me. So like in terms of solving it, I was ahead of people, but like I'm pretty sure Creek beat it before me because like when I was solving it, he was still like trying to figure out what to do in that room. And I was still like halfway through the boss fight before he even got to the boss fight. But then like he like beat the boss fight before me and just completely obliterated me, and it was like crazy. But anyways, so like I said, after each batch, so this is the second batch of games, right? So the first batch were the 3 games. Now after 4 games are done, there would be a new puzzle, right? And because I wasn't streaming these, I didn't show the puzzle, but I believe for the second puzzle. Okay, anyways, I just forgot. Okay, I can't find it anywhere. But the puzzle, I'm pretty sure, this one was like it was like one of those actual like puzzles where you have to like arrange the image in a certain way, but like there's only one piece missing. So like you have to like move them so like this here, that there, and then you have to like arrange it so that there's like only one piece of the puzzle missing, but everything else actually looks like some sort of image or whatever. And it was like really difficult, and I had to wait for the difficulty to go down before I even did it. So it was kind of annoying. But yeah. Anyways, let's get into the next day. So now day what was it like day like 3 releases, and of course Dusty Trip is the first game, um, March 20th. So it's like another like 4 days. Why am I opening up my calendar? So it's like another 4 days, right? And now there's a new hint, right, in the next area. So basically it says Zero Labs, and I let other people figure this one out before me. So Zero Labs is a company found in Jandal's games, and Field Trip Z is a game made by Jandal. So one of the games that Jandal made in this event was a Dusty Trip, because it's the same universe as Field Trip Z, since both of the games are made by him. So that's how people figured out it was in a Dusty Trip. Now to figure out what you actually had to do in a Dusty Trip was it was actually I'm proud of myself. This day, okay, this day was, I would say this was my best day in the entire event. So from a Dusty Trip to Hell's Kitchen, or actually rather, so this chunk of these 5 games from Mega Token 8 to Mega Token 12, these 5 games were like in the same day, like they released in the same day. So I would say really my best like moment is in these 3 games. But I'll explain why more in a second. So you have to and you can of course hear Creek in the background as per usual, because I was trying to get info from all my sources to try and figure out what to do. But you have to go into the hunt map, right? And I actually noticed this. Like obviously it's not like um unnoticeable, but like I was like, I don't remember seeing this before, because I played the Dusty Trip event and I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember what this is, and I like almost drove past it, right? But then I was like, wait a minute, no. Here you go. I'm saying it. I'm talking. So I was like, where is it, right? And I was like, I was taking a while to do this part, because you had to like you had to bring these like these bomb detonators, and you'd build like a portal out of it, right? Um Here, I'll like skip forward to where the portal is. So like you would arrange it in a ring, like as so. But like if you were like holding onto the bomb for too long, it would like explode, and then you kind of have to like restart. So it took me a couple of tries, and that's why like a lot of people passed me within that time. But a lot of people got stuck in the next game, which is Infection Gunfight. But I'll talk about that later. Don't mind me liking my own video. Please go like that video too. Thank you. Anyways, and then you basically have to go through the portal and just do a standard boss fight that Jandal does in every single Dusty Trip thing. And it was basically just a repeated sequence of the same 3 like attacks, and you just have to like dodge it a little bit, and then after you beat it, you would get the badge right here, and then you get this gun, and then you could like continue on with the adventure. But like who wants to even do that, right? So yeah, that was very annoying. But here, this is where like things actually started looking up for me after a Dusty Trip. So right here, Infection Gunfight, right? I'm like not one of the first, but I'm relatively fast at beating a Dusty Trip. So now we're getting to the time where like I'm figuring out what to do. And I didn't record this, and I didn't put it inside of the video, because these were just mainly tutorial videos. But if it was a stream, you would actually see like what I was doing. But I'm giving you the insight right now. So basically, as like how it usually is, right? There would be like a clue in the hub, right? So this was the clue. It was like a bunch of these random gibbled letters, right? So basically, I just like searched up on Google Cipher Decoder. I typed this like word for word into there, right? And basically, it would give you these 3 sentences, right? And now like who knows these 3 sentences, right? So I just did what anybody would do, and I just Control C, Control V this into Google, and the AI feature said this quote is from the movie 28 Days Later, and if you read the movie description, it's about a zombie apocalypse, and Infection Gunfight is basically zombies.
All right, Top
Some
G.
people are zombies, and
It's time to find the number 9 token. Got number 8. Creekcraft is still doing it because I just stopped the recording and I just started this one. All right. So let's go to the tile zone and let's see what we can find. Let's see what clues we can find. Which?
okay, well, yeah, whatever I just said. But anyways, then you had to join, and then this is where I was actually doing good, right? So like people were probably like telling Creekcraft what to do and whatnot, right? But I was out here figuring it out on myself, and I was actually doing really good. So like, basically, yeah, right here. So I found these goggles on the floor, right? And I was like, but I don't play this game, so I don't know if that was I didn't know if that was a regular item or not, but it wasn't. And yeah, wait, as you can see in whatever I said, I didn't know that this is what we needed, and I was very confused because I'm like, what do I do with this? I don't know how to play this game. I never played with this game in my life. But basically, next to each player, you could see like here, you could see there's an M next to him, right? So you had to shoot the people like in order and kill them. Where the letters next to him, it would spell Mega Hunt. Like people didn't know what you had to spell. Like they thought maybe it was Mega Token, but no, it was Mega Hunt. And this is what took a lot of people a lot of time, right? Because the matches were relatively short, and you had to kill the correct people with the correct letters. I think you had to do it without dying. I'm not sure. Maybe that was too extreme. Maybe you didn't have to do it without dying, but you would have to like shoot the correct person, and then it would appear right here, right? And then it would be in like green, right? So like you see E and then shoot G, right? And you have to not get infected, by the way, because if you were actually no, if you were a zombie, I'm pretty sure you could do it, but it's like just easier to do it like with all of the. I mean, it's easier to do it with the what you call it, right? But like see, because this game mode had like 5 rounds, right? No, I think every game mode had. I don't even remember, but there was 5 rounds, right? So you had 5 rounds to shoot these specific letters, and if you didn't do it in time, then you have to reset, and that's why this game is so annoying, and people were very aggravated at the developers of this game. But I did it relatively fast, and basically the rest of this video is just me like getting all the letters, and then after you finally get the T, after I finally got the T, then right here.
Oh, I got it! Oh my god, I got it! Oh my god, I got it! Oh, I got it! I got it! Clutch! That's the biggest clutch ever! That's the biggest clutch ever!
Yeah, that's the biggest clutch ever. Ooh. Anyways, I was pretty proud of myself for doing that because at this stage in time, Creekcraft is raging in his stream. You can't hear it because I probably had it muted because I was actually doing good at this time. But a lot of people were pretty far behind, and now completing this put me in a pretty big lead above everybody else. So I was like, oh, I gotta get this thing going, right? So then we move on to the next clue, right? So the next clue actually led to Basketball Legends, right? So here's the thing. I have no idea why I didn't realize this sooner, but it would be these 3 images, right? And basically, the air was representing Air Jordan, as in Michael Jordan, the basketball player. The bird represented Larry Bird, the other basketball player, and the top hat was a magician, which referenced Magic Johnson, another basketball player. 3 of the best basketball players of all time, right? And basically, I didn't figure this out myself because this is not where my brain was thinking. I was thinking which games could connect to this, right? But somebody figured it out in the Discord, right? So sure enough, I actually went into Basketball Legends itself, and yeah, right here you can see.
Alright guys, we have the next pick here. So it looks like Sky Bird hat, Magic Johnson, Karl
But yeah, anyways, so
Malone, Kevin McHale.
what am I even reading? I don't even know. I thought I started naming the Dream Team or something. But anyways, so then I was there's this Discord server called the RBX Event Hunters, and I was in that Discord server. And inside of that server, I was trying to like actually figure out like, oh, what do we do? And I was looking at people, right, to see like how far they progress, and I was basically building off that, right. So they figured out to like they were like there was like this area is pretty limited inside the actual game, and there's not really anything in here, right? So we figured, so there's another area called the My Park, and that's where we figured you had to go, right? And this is where I actually like really started cooking up after Infection Gunfight,
See the
right?
lever.
So basically in the Discord, somebody found a
Okay,
letter
I see
and
that.
a
I see
lever
the
and
lever.
and posted a screenshot of it, right? So I went ahead and I flicked this thing, and I don't play this game, of
I took
course,
it.
so I
What
didn't know
does it
what
do?
it did, right?
Got
So around the map there would be these different shapes with numbers next to it, and you
see
have to
the
keep
lever
track of
version.
it. There was a circle, square, and a triangle, right? So let's see. Wait, I don't know if you can see it. Okay, right there, right there, right there, right there. Hold on, let me go back. So like right here, you could vaguely see in the top left, right? There's like a circle and it says the number 3, right? So images like these would be scattered around the map. So it would be one circle, one triangle, and one square, and you just had to find all three of them, right? And I'm not sure if the
Oh my
locations
god.
were necessarily the same, right? So I found the triangle, the number was 1,
Oh.
right? And then I found the circle, and then I found the square, and I found all of these by myself. I want to stress that this is like in the middle of the event. Most of the people are still stuck on infection gunfight. Only a handful of people are on this, and maybe one person move on to the next game at this stage. But I'm pretty sure at this stage, everybody, the farthest person was on Basketball Legends, and I was doing really good, right?
Oh
So
my
then
god.
I figured out what to do, right? I walked and I saw this. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, that's what you have to do. So basically the triangle was 1, the square was 2, and the circle was 3, right? So you had to shoot the basketball in that order, in that specific order, and the numbers were randomized, by the way. So I pieced that together because obviously it's not that hard to figure out, but like figuring out like finding those shapes in the first place and like realizing what they mean is um like kind of difficult, but like you had to like make them all, I don't know if in a row or
Oh.
not, and then
Oh my god. I did it.
yeah, see, and then it would spawn this cutscene, right?
Oh my god. Oh.
And then you basically just have to score 21 points before the NPC, right? Not particularly difficult. And after you do that, you get the quest. I like this game. It was pretty easy, and I figured it out pretty fast. So I'm pretty proud of myself. Like, of course, I had a little bit of help from the Discord server, but actually joining the game was like good. So I like this one. Infection Gunfight. Most people had a terrible experience with this, but I think it was pretty. It was not that bad. But I'm just saying that because I did it pretty fast. Dusty Trip, I don't really like. I really don't like Dusty Trip. I hate it a lot, but like whatever. It wasn't the worst. It's just repetitive because every single Roblox event that Jandal has been in, um, with the Dusty Trip, he's done the same thing, just reskins everything. So it was like kind of annoying. But like I guess the portal building was creative and whatnot. I don't know. Also, I don't know why I'm talking about this right now, but like just bear with me. World Zero was like it was like meh. I took a while in the boss fight, so it was like meh. Clip It was like okay, and then yeah, I already went over what I thought of the previous ones. So after that, then I remember this. It was a word search, right? Back in the lobby, you had to go here, right? And there was a total of 18 words, right? So it says, can you find all 18 words, 5 letters or longer? So I low-key think I put this into ChatGPT and like tried to ask it to do it for me. But immediately looking at this, I see Marvel, I see marble, I see mattress, I see radio, right? And basically, it would list items that were all in the game Metro Life, right? Um, but if you see where the letters intersect, apparently, it would spell out Metro Life, right? And that's like pretty cool, I guess. Like telephone right here, so like telephone would probably intersect with like something, I don't know, and then it would like spell Metro Life, but like that's not how I realized it was Metro Life. At this stage, people were catching up. Like people were starting to get off Infection Gunfight and move on to Basketball Legends. So I realized that I just had to go into Metro Life and pray that it was the correct game, and that's pretty much what I did. But this is where things kind of went south. So that's why I said in this batch I cooked up only on the first 3 because that's where I only cooked up, right? So you had to go to the mayor's office, right? And I'm still not sure how people figured this out. Um, I think there was something that pointed to the mayor's office, but
Mayor's office.
I can't remember it right now. But you had to talk to that little mayor, right? And then right here. So this was the quest, right?
Oh my god.
And it was basically three riddles. It was kind of like Clip It, right? But like slightly different. So like the first riddle was what? It was like Guardians of Flame, right? So Guardians of Flame are firefighters. And then the surrounding branches await like whatever. And you have a bag of tools, right? So like on one of the trees, you could use that train saw and like you could trim the branch. And you're basically just like helping clean up the city. It's kind of like what you do in like Paw Patrol and like Kitty, those who know what I'm talking about. But then like you go to the school and then you help the librarian out and you just wipe the walls with graffiti and you use like your water bucket and your like rag and whatever. And then you have to like rescue this lady's cat from a tree in the hotel. And then after you do all that, it's kind of like it gets a little bit more confusing. So there's basically this map, right? And you have to go to each of these four coordinates. Use your shovel, dig up like stuff, or something like that. No, you don't have to dig up stuff. I'm lying. You didn't use. Okay, you don't need to use your shovel at all. There would be like a number somewhere, like near those areas, and then after you found all the numbers, you would find the intersection of all those points in the center of the map. Put it in this safe, and then it would give you
Oh, I got it.
the code, which would unlock the mega token. But the problem is that even though this video is 5 minutes long, this video took me like this whole process took me a really long time, and it was very very irritating, like very irritating to figure out. Like figuring out the mayor's office, figuring out which item to use. Like at this point, most people passed me, right? So like at this stage, most of the people were off infection gunfight. Basketball Legends was relatively simple and leaked. Everybody figured it out. And like Metro Life, like people were starting to do this, and they were already in the middle of Hell's Kitchen at the time that I finished this. Like I was really far behind, but because they were in the middle of Hell's Kitchen, it made it a little bit easier for me to do it. Cause then I like was like able to figure out like what to do in Hell's Kitchen. But the clue for Hell's Kitchen was a tic tac toe board, right? And this one, genuinely, like, how did people even figure this one out? If you flip the board 180 degrees, that it's a maze layout or something. Because there was like a maze and like there was like another clue. If you go to these like circled locations, you find these texts and like I don't even know. Somehow you get these coordinates which point to Hell's Kitchen, which is in Manhattan, right here in New York City, and it's like I don't even know how people figured that one out. Like that one was like crazy, but it doesn't even matter because like I finally finished Metro Life. I was trying to figure out what the next game was, and you had to go to this like basement
Yeah, I see
bunker.
the TV.
No, you didn't have to go to the basement bunker. Like I went to the basement bunker, but I had no idea what to do here, right? But it turned out you have to queue into the game, and you have to like I don't even remember what you had to do. You had to like get like a certain score or something. Oh no, sorry. You don't have to get a certain
What?
score, right? If you look at the ceiling, it would be oriented like this, right? So you basically had to light up these TVs in the basement in like that specific pattern, and then the door would open, and then like you just do whatever obby, and then you need to like find the recipe, right, in the actual game. So like you had to wait until you got to this specific section and then look around for the recipe pieces. Actually, no, I think there was recipe pieces in this section too. I don't even know. But there's five recipe pieces and one of them was in the lobby. And then after you do that, then you could go back to the basement and then catch the dude and then you get the mega token. But this game was like I don't know, it was kind of weird. So I would say Metro Life is meh. I didn't really like it. It wasn't the worst though. Bayside High School was worse in my opinion, and Hell's Kitchen was like all right, I guess. But yeah. So at this point, right before the next clue or was out, um, it was another cipher, right? So if you put this into a different cipher, um, oh wait, my bad. Before I talk about that, after finishing this batch of badges would you would have to do another puzzle, and after you do that puzzle, then you progress to the next zone, right? And now in this zone, six badges would release. So from one, two, three, four, five, six, these six badges all release in the next day, right? So like yeah, whatever. But anyways, somehow, I don't know who figured this one out either. This is crazy. You decipher this, and then it says this, and if you look this up, it reveals this, which is in the Heathrow Airport in London, and the last departure at this was um, bound for this specific station or whatever, leaves from the Arsenal tube station. And like, yeah, this is mind blowing how people even figured it out in the first place. But yeah, so Arsenal. So Arsenal, I was actually figuring out what to do pretty fast, right? So obviously I'm like, it's most likely not gonna be in the regular game, and it's gonna be in the hunt map, right? And also the day before this was supposed to come out, Arsenal accidentally like leaked it, and that's how I knew like what to do, like what to start off with, right? Because like there was a target at the top, right? But at the time, the day before, when you shot it, nothing really happened, right? But like now, when you shot it, see, like it would do this, and that's why I'm so surprised, because I was like, what is this, you know?
Oh. Oh my god, it's Arsenal. Oh, what is this?
And then there's this code, right? So you just have to align these four valves to match that order at the top. Pretty straightforward. And then this area would release. I mean, this area would unlock, right? And there was like these different like labs and like areas, and then potions and order, and you just have to like collect the parts and order them right, blah 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 whatnot. You could like watch this for a more in-depth tutorial, right? And then after that,
Okay, there we go.
it would unlock this little mini game that you have to pay. Like you would like basically create some sort of VR headset or something, and then you'd play like
What
I
is
forget what type of, I think this is like a, it feels like a Pokemon Brick Bronze type style game or something. I think that's what it is. I'm not even sure.
it?
But yeah, it's like Pokemon Brick Bronze. Vaguely remember playing that game a while ago. But at this stage, it like was like taking a while, and yeah, I just like sped up the video. But there was a bug in the middle of it that some people got, some didn't. Unfortunately, I was one of the people to encounter that bug, and it like pissed me off a lot because I got soft locked here. I was permanently stuck, so I had to restart. I had to redo all that, and then like I finally like got back to this area, and then like did the whole thing. But because I got soft locked and it took me a while to get back here, everybody was already on the next badge, which was natural disaster survival, and they were figuring out pretty fast because that game wasn't like super difficult. But then you do the final boss fight, and then you get the badge. So it was like, I like Arsenal. I think it's a good game. This was like well made, so I'll give it props. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst, but yeah.
As
Oh,
usual.
wait, before I start natural disaster. So then the next clue is this, and because like I was kind of lagging behind everybody else because of the Arsenal shebang, I didn't. I wasn't able to like see these clues. So apparently the next clue was this, and the creator of Natural Disaster Survival, Stickmaster Luke, is the only person that has this face apparently. So that's how people knew. It doesn't seem like a super difficult hint, but you like need to know that this was belonging to him. And basically, if you go down the middle here, no wait, sorry, you need to talk to an NPC on the map, right? So talk to this guy. And then he gives you a quest, right? But I think, yeah, right here. So if you reset and then you click on the middle, it actually like teleports you under the map, and then there would be like this area. So like there's like a little underground lab, and there's like a bunch of like these different like maps. So you would have to play these maps and note which disasters were on these maps, and then there'd be like a row of buttons underneath, and you have to like correspond that. Like you have to like click the disaster that you got on that map, right? It was like relatively simple to figure out, right? And then oh no, sorry, I lied. Not the disaster that happened on that map. You talk to the NPC, and he gives like a riddle, right? So he said, "Is it hot or is it just me?" Right? So from
Wait,
that,
wait.
I guessed that it was the volcano or the meteor shower, right? So you basically just had to like repeat that for the rest of the maps, and then the last one you could just like guess, right?
Okay.
But
Yourself.
over here, I went to go talk to him, right? But because all people crowded around, I got yeeted into the air. So like when he said this, he spawns the mega token next to him, and you just need to walk into it and claim it, right? But I got flung into the air, and at this point, I got really scared that I wasn't gonna be able to claim it, and I was actually like, I started flipping out, like I was like, no, please, please don't do this, and then like he like dies, right, and then the spawns the mega token, and I was like, and that's why I'm really happy at this stage, because like I was like, oh my god, thank god it wasn't bugged, because it would have been really bad if it was actually bugged. So yeah, and I think I'll leave off with natural disaster survival for now, but like not actually, because like it's 10:41. I got school tomorrow, and yeah. So I'll continue with this in like 2 seconds in the video, but like 24 hours in real life for me. So yeah, yeah. Hello everybody. I have returneth backeth for another dayeth, and so yeah, 2 seconds later. If you look at the time carefully, you'll see the date is kind of different. And I have about an hour to cram the rest of this into a hour long part, which will be cropped down probably. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, so the next game was Eat the World, right? And this is apparently the clue that they gave. So there's a comic series called The Fantastic Four. So MAR is referring to the Marvel part of it. And 12C is the IND. I actually don't know what that means myself, but apparently somehow this gives us the coming of the Galactics, and Galactus declares he's gonna eat the entire world, and that points to the game Eat the World. And also, fun fact: this is actually the video that somehow acquired the most views throughout the entire series. No idea how that even happened,
Okay,
but
guys, apparently
it happened.
the 15th
So yeah, we were going in this game,
badge is in.
and I'm pretty sure Creek was in the background. Yep, there he is.
Found
And right here, if I rewind a couple frames, this little button right here, it was randomized around the map. So I was trying to go to a location where he saw it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. But I don't know why I didn't think about it being randomized. But yeah, I completely missed it, and then I ended up like turning around and I saw
I see
it.
it. It's right here.
It randomly
It's right
spawns. It randomly spawns. Okay. Is that it right there? Wait.
Yeah, we were still trying to figure out like what to do at this time.
I pressed
And
it.
then wait, dude, I don't even remember what happened to this one. Oh yeah, and we're all dumb. So we were looking around for the longest time, and then eventually somebody realized you could just click this button, and then these arrows were so transparent they blended in, but you could click it and it would just be a memory match type game. Like we're so unintelligent for that. But and then after you do that, it like unlocks some sort of like cave, right? And then there's like a cracked wall. You picked up a stone, you threw it at the wall, like right here, if the video loads. And then the wall, throw the block, there you go. And then you broke it, and then there was an egg, so you had to pick this thing up, and you had to like carry it and feed it to the big dude that you had to feed all the things to, right here. And then he would like freak out. He would start freaking out when he ate the egg, and then you'd get sent to this region. And basically, this was just a giant run to the top. It's like a, I guess you could call it a Lava Rises style game, but it's basically as you're running, the world is just disappearing behind you because the dude is eating it, and you just need to get to the top. And it was pretty annoying. So I would probably rank this like pretty high up there, because like it took me quite a while. I think it took me about half an hour just to do this. And then finally I made it to the top, and I was so happy. But at this stage, most of the people were already on the next game, which I think was Blade. No, it was Car Crushers 2.
Okay, well I know the next one is Blade League. I know the next one is Blade League.
Yeah. The next one was not, in fact, Blade. Actually, wait, maybe I took so long to do this that they already figured out the entirety of Car Crushers 2. But I don't even remember. I probably started screaming after this.
Somebody got it next.
It's Blade League. Oh, okay. So it's Car Crushers and then Blade League.
I don't
Apparently, they did the entirety of Car Crushers in the time it took me to do this. So, go me, I guess.
Thank you, Eat the World devs.
Okay, I'm gonna give
My
10,000.
game lagged for
Thank you, Eat the World devs, indeed. All right, like I would say it was all right. It wasn't the worst. This is the worst in my opinion, but like it was all right. And then we get to
It would appear that
Car
the
Crushers 2. And as you can see, this is a 4 minute and 22-second long video, so it couldn't have been that bad, or at least that's what we thought. But we were trying to figure out what to do,
That's
and then you
insane.
had to go to like the OG facility, like not even the main thing, the OG facility, and they were just like scouring the entire game because they found the clue. Oh yeah, I forgot to go over it. So the next clue was like this whatever like passenger car, and it's getting basically if you see the image quality, it like deteriorates, right? And apparently this is called bit crushing, and crushing is car crushers, so that's how they figure that out. Or maybe not, they just like, oh, it's
Wait,
getting
that's ro- it
crushed
said-
by
it
bit.
says
I don't know,
row one,
probably
right?
that's probably how they figured it out. But
Let's see if this
you
does
had to like go down here, and then there would be like all this shenanigan stuff, and then you had to right here, you had to go to the derby and then get the key on the wall behind the mirror, so you just had to play through the entire thing and then like quickly click this key right here. It was like who even figured that out, you know? And then you need to go to like some like random area and drop your car down the hole, or just like drop down the hole, and then
Give me one, or is it the OG? Is it the
that was
original?
like one of the things. Oh no, you just had to go crush your car and all of the things in the OG section, and then after you did that, you could like use the key and then open it up, and then it would give you the mega token. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Because I took so long on Eat the World, this one was relatively easy to do because it was pretty much already figured out. So yeah, I would say not that bad. If you want more in depth, of course, you could watch the video. I'm still self-promoting because I need the
Alright, next
views.
team is Blade League.
Okay, numbers.
And Blade League was really easy. Like the video's a minute and 30 seconds long. Like you just had to find these like specific like different colored
Y'all see the
numbers
number?
here. I'll show you right here. Like this is one, and then there should be like 4 of these different numbers scattered around, and then you could just input them on this keypad, obviously in this specific order because they were all like different colored, and then you just have to do this boss fight, which was like not even that bad. Yeah, and I just fast forwarded the whole thing because it was pretty simple.
Cool to me.
And then after you strike the ball against this dude like 5 times, then GG, you win. It's like it was easy, but like it wasn't necessarily fun, I guess. So I'll give it like a 6 out of 10, and I'm giving it a decently high score just because of its difficulty. It was pretty easy. Now this game, there's a lot to talk about. The video may seem 4 hours and 55 minutes long. I mean, 4 minutes and 55 seconds long. But this was a pain to do, because we were all trying to figure out what to do, and it was so random. Like the developer thought he was being smart, and in the RBX Hunters Discord, I actually went there and I typed, "Bro, I think Bayside High School was like the worst one," and the actual developer of the game was inside of that server, and he replied to me saying, "No, you're just bad. You're not thinking enough." But in reality, like thousands of people were not thinking enough, and I was just wasting away sitting in front of my computer staring at this game trying to figure out what to do desperately. So I wasn't having the time of my life, I would say. So I think this game I'll explain a little more in depth, but I still recommend you go watch the video. So you had to go to the principal's office and take your picture on a camera, and it would say this. We found this out like a while ago, right? At this point, and then there was like a specific order of things you need to do in like the math and science room, because basically there would be this portal door outside, right, with like 2 lights on top of it, and we needed to like figure out a way to light those lights. But anyways, inside the science room, it would show this, and this is obviously in the shape of a mega token. So basically if you like drink a cup of coffee, because this basically is displaying the element caffeine, if I'm not wrong, and then they would spawn the black light on the table. Oh yeah, before I continue with this, the clue for Blade League was these three numbers, which is actually years, which is the release dates of movies in the Blade franchise. So like yeah, and then this I remember this clue. This is like clip it, pretty easy. Yeah, I like yeah. But then you drank caffeine, right? And then that would point to the this, and then you would get the black light. And then if you use the black light like in the playground,
What do we do with an ant?
that whatever it is hieroglyph looking thing
Can I click
would
it?
pop up,
I can't
and
click it.
then
Insane, bro.
you would have to come to like
I
the
play
history
with my
room,
hard
and then it would say this, and essentially most people thought that
here, you know what I mean?
I forgot. Most people thought it was like iron and a balloon because this is the periodic table in the background,
But we're
and
now.
like we were like Fe and B, but essentially you just had to grab this sign and you had to type in 247 because somehow that relates. I don't know, maybe the atomic number of, or I don't even know, the atomic mass maybe. I have no idea. And then there would be some music note. There was like a music sheet somewhere, and then you would have to play D E A D in the thing. Wait, what? I'm not. Okay, anyways. Uh, yeah, so I was just really stressed out at this time. It's probably like 11 p.m. And this isn't even the worst part, by the way. This is just figuring it out, and it's just taking forever to figure it out. So then you had to like, go to the pizza shop and order a pizza, and then like bring it back to the math classroom or whatever, and then you could finally go through the unlocked door with the portal, and then this is the part that took a while. There was some clue. I forget what it was at like, because this is a year ago, but like there was some clue somewhere that said you had to sit at this specific chair and use the fart emoji. Like there was some letters. I'm pretty sure the first letter of like each sentence spelled like FART, and there was like a map pointing to which chair to sit in. The developer thought he was being really creative. And when I did that, I was actually tweaking out because I was like, "There's no way this is actually a real thing." Use the fart emote on a chair.
Bro, there is no possible way this is real, bro. Oh my lord, praise Lord.
And then after this, I had to do Flappy Bird. No, not Flappy Bird. Crossy Road. But in Bayside High School. And this was like, I don't think, I think this took me so long. Like beating this took me an additional hour because I don't think I played enough Crossy Road in my life to actually have any skill at it. Like all I was playing when I was younger was like Temple Run and like I don't even remember Subway Surfers, freaking Angry Birds too. What else? I don't even remember what I did, but like yeah. So I spent so long on this part, and then there would be like these bombs that you had to collect. And see, he's talking, and he's like saying it's easy because everybody's like, oh yeah, is it cross your blocks? I'm on Crossy Road. It's like yeah, it's easy, but not for me, bro. But finally, I was so infuriated with the Crossy Road specifically that I was like, bro. You see, I literally sighed after I beat it. That's how fed up I was with this game, bro. Wait, let's listen. Yeah, right there. Oh my god, I was so dead, bro. Like this game sucked, bro. It genuinely wrecked my brain. But that concludes these 6 badges from Arsenal to Bayside High School. And this is the second to last, well, technically the second to last day of the event because the last day of the event would actually come I think a couple of days later. I remember for sure it was a Friday. And wait, when was this streamed? What date? March 21st, 2025. Wait, let me go back to 2025 March 21st. Yeah, it was a Friday. How did I know? And basically, I think this released at. Wait, let me think about it. Okay, so like if this came out at 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 no. So 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. I think this started at, it was either 7:30 that it started or it was at 8. And I streamed this thing for 7 hours and 46 minutes. And to top it off, even at the end of that, there was a puzzle that you had to complete before reaching the final area. And I spent like all of this like remaining time after the last game, which spoiler, you could see right there, it's fish. But we'll get to that eventually. Yeah, and then I had to do this like, it was like a Tetris but non Tetris game, like place the pieces in the right area. Um on extreme difficulty if I wanted to be like one of the first to do it. But of course, I wasn't even one of the first to do it. I just wanted to get it out of the way and finish this darned event because, yeah, man, I was like fed up, bro. I could not function. But oh wait, no, before I start that, um, let me go back to here. So the next game was Regret Evader, right? And there was a radio that said 1337. So it was the same one that was used for the pressure hint, but instead of using the actual radio to listen for Morse code, there would be a number on the back. And apparently, it's playing elevator music, which is already referencing the Regret Evader. And the number 1337 is apparently a reference to the infected that's inside of the game who only speak leech speak, which is like, I forgot what it was. I'm pretty sure some sort of like computer language. I'm not even sure. But yeah, so that's so probably spent like the first like 10 minutes trying to figure out. Oh yeah, Justin was in this too. So
Alright, wait, I'm gonna go try Regret Evader.
he wasn't here the whole time because he went to like sleep at like 10:30, and I said I started streaming at 8. And when I went to bed on this day, it was actually at 4 a.m. So I spent like my entire life from 8 to 4. That's like 8 hours slaving away at this game. It was like pretty sad. But yeah, so people were like saying Regret Evader, and people were already finding stuff out. If you went all the way down here, there would be this like box or something, right?
It's playing elevator.
And then like you could like put in a code inside of this box, and it would like give you something, right? And we are trying to put like 1337 because that was the code on the back of the radio, right? And whatever, like blah 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 blah. Still trying to figure it out, so I'm gonna have to fast forward a lot in this stream, because actually, I don't know how people like even figured this out in the first place, right? But I don't wait. Did that open the chest?
There's a Bowling Climbers and NPC. Oh, that's the NPC. Oh.
Oh yeah. So Creek found something, right? And then that's why I gasped, right? Because
What do you press?
I don't know what he clicked, right? Oh no, well I didn't know what he clicked. I know what he clicked right now. Behind like I think behind the TV or something, there was yeah. If you like angle your camera, you would see that button right there, right? And then you could click it, and then that is actually what you had to do to start this quest. And then you had to collect these floppies right here, and then like gather them all, and then here. I'm pretty sure it's above, yeah, above the door, right? There would be an area where you could jump up through the vent, and then there would be an upstairs room. And exactly, who the heck finds this? And then this box is what you would put the final code in, right? But like, we still have to figure out the code. So I'm pretty sure you just played the games and found like floppies and select areas, and then there would be like this encryptor that you would play these little mini games for. It wasn't particularly difficult, and then you had to put all of the codes from the corrupted fragments together, and then it would unlock the chest. And keep in mind that this is the day that actually counted. So whoever the first 10 people to find the last game, the 25th game at after this, those would be the 10 people that flew out to San Francisco and competed at Roblox headquarters live. So yeah, so we got the Mega Token for that game, and then people were already starting to figure out that the next game was Tower Defense Simulator, and the clue for that was right here. There was a series of emojis found somewhere in the maze, and these are referring to tarot cards. And if you get their card numbers and do the match, it gives you the number 16, which is the tarot card for the tower, apparently. And obviously, the tower is pointing to Tower Defense Simulator. So, like, how are people even figuring this out?
Like, how many
I don't
people?
know. I have no idea. But, then if you, oh no, I think, oh yeah, I wanted to fish originally because like I was just reading Creekcraft's chat and reading the Discord, and people were saying tower fell fish. But something that I want, actually no, I'll explain it later when we get to Pet Sim, which is the next game. And spoiler alert, Pet Sim is probably the worst game. Actually no, Pet Sim was really easy, but the process to figuring out was really difficult.
Oh, I see it.
Wait, first, if there. So how many letters do we need?
So essentially, in the lobby, there would be these little like letters floating around, and I believe the letters would spell
27, I just don't
Redcliffe
know what the-
Fall.
right here.
Falling. No. It's another.
And I think I just looked in like the chat and tried seeing like Redcliffe Falls. I'm pretty sure that was the code.
Wait, somebody sent me a seat.
And I just heard Redcliffe Falls.
There's a seat in here, chat.
Oh no, wait, Flawless? No. Yeah, right here, Redcliffe Falls.
Saying? Let me look it up.
Red
Let's see.
Falls.
And at this point, right? At this point in the event, if you figure it out before Creekcraft, you're ahead of the majority because he's like at this point one of the biggest streamers on Roblox, and everybody's watching him because not only is he one of the biggest streamers, but even out of the big streamers, he's probably the only one doing this event, right? So
You just guessed that?
Nah, bro, he said it, bro.
yeah, and I'm actually like flipping out. And then I have to figure out what to do from here. But now you could go into this portal, right? And then you could click Mega.
Right here, Mega.
But I'm not very good at tower defense games, so I kind of needed to do it with some other people, and I think I just did it with random people, right? So I wasted like 20 minutes, and then I failed, and then I had to do it again. But thank God I finally did it. And Justin is like decent, I guess, at tower games, so that's how I figured out how to do it. So yeah, and yeah, finally I beat the Deathwalker with the other two people. So yeah, and at this stage I'm pretty sure they already started figuring out that the next game was Pet Simulator 99. So yeah,
On the third round, there's a vault.
and there's something else I wanted to say. I
No,
can't remember what
time
I
will
wanted
get
to say.
wasted.
Where? It's not.
Yeah,
Where?
there you go.
He did raid level
I don't
32.
Okay, so before I start this, let's go look at the clue. So the clue for this was this, and if you turn it upside down, it translates to go to PS99, which is Pet Sim 99. So it's like not a particularly difficult clue either.
I don't see any levers, chat.
I read that
I don't see any lever. Wait.
And essentially, I want you to mark the coordinate. Well, not mark the, what am I saying? Mark the timestamps from 1 hour and about 23 minutes, 24 minutes, from 1 hour and 24 minutes, all the way to $4 and 12 minutes. About 4 hours and 13 minutes. That's about, what is that? That's like 2 hours and, oh no, wait, 1, 2, 3. That's about 3 hours and like 20 minutes or so, I think. No, that still doesn't sound right. No, 3 hours and like 45 minutes ish, about around 3 hours and like 40 minutes, right? I spent 2 hours. What am I saying? 2 hours and 40 minutes. That's how long it was. That's how long most of the majority of people spent trying to figure out what the heck you were supposed to do in Pet Simulator 99. That's how long people took to figure it out. But let me stress this. That's how long it took most people to figure out, because there was this elite group at the top made up of the sweatiest of the sweats. And it was made up by, I think, of like 30 people, right? 30 hunters that like were figuring out stuff to do in previous Roblox events like this, like I don't know, maybe RB battles, what not. I don't even know. But they were the people that figured out like how to do this, and they figured it out relatively fast, probably within half an hour to 45 minutes, or like an hour. They figured it out, and they started moving, blazing through the other games. They figured out that the next game was Driving Empire, and then the game after that was Untitled Boxing Game. So by the time that I finished Pet Sim, they were already on UBG, and then by the time I like was halfway through Drive World, they were already on IT Girl, which meant that the last game was Fish. And I just had to hope that I could speedrun everything that they already did before they could figure out the last game. But spoiler alert, I'm not one of the 10 people that went to Roblox. So yeah, and we were trying to like type things in chat, trying to figure out what to even do. And I think Justin left around somewhere here because you know he had to go to sleep, so he couldn't obviously watch the whole thing through. But then I was just like reading chat. I was reading everywhere. That's why I'm like AFK, right? I'm trying to like, what did I click? That's the wrong thing. I clicked it, yeah, but trying to like press anything and see like what could I possibly do, right? And I was just reading some of Creekcraft's chat, right, and looking in the Discord, and then I just followed this one guy, and the thing is that I read his chat before anybody else. And then I started,
Chat, we got it. Chat, did we get it?
and you could genuinely hear Creek tweaking out in the back.
Did we do it? Chat, did we do it?
So you had to click the letters Gunter in that room, but not yet.
Okay.
There's a specific part. There's a specific code you have to put in some door. It's at like some point in the stream that I enter it. Don't remember where, and I'm not gonna go look for it since this entire segment is about 2.5 hours. So let me fast forward here. So basically, you're in like this Leprechaun Lucky Pot room, right? Because it's like March, and it was like around St. Patrick's Day and whatever, so it was in their event. So you have to click all of the clovers apparently, and there's no indicator that when you click the clovers that you're even doing anything. So this is basically a Hail Mary shot in the dark, and it kept saying you aren't lucky enough. Yeah, you aren't lucky enough yet, right? After you put in like the specific code. But then, oh wait, no, sorry, I think I skipped the part right here. This is the part right here. So you had to click the letters Gunter in order, Gunter, and you could vaguely see the letters on the wall. So like right here, this is a G, like this, right? That is a G. This is an E right here, like the. This is a T, and if you zoom out, you can kind of see it better. That's an N right here, N, and one of them was a U. This is like an S. I don't remember which one the U was. Here. So G, U, right here. U. N is back there. Don't go back. Yep, right here. N. T. E. And then that is an R. And after you did this, still, it gives no indication that you did anything. So I wasn't really hopeful, right?
True.
So then I went back into this room, and then this lucky pot appeared.
It's true.
Oh!
Wait, did we figure
It's
it
true.
Did we figure it out? Oh my God.
It's true.
Wait.
And my brain is so fried because at this stage, it's like if I started the stream at 8, it's probably around 12 a.m. or like 11:30 at least. I think the stream started at 7:30, so it's probably around like 11:30 when finally we got past this game, right? And then basically you just had to go around clicking as many clovers as you could until finally you like clicked enough, or you clicked like almost all of them,
Okay.
right?
I got it. I got it. Go.
And instantly I left because I knew that the next game was Drive World, Drive Empire, Drive World, whatever it's called, Drive World, yeah. So there was this, which I never even got to because those 30 geniuses at the top already figured it out, and it would reveal pixelated images of a car driving on the road, and then a world which is drive world, pretty self-explanatory, but figuring that out would take a little bit.
Go.
And then I had to figure out what to do in this game, right? And I was kind of like lost essentially because like it still wasn't revealed because Creek's not the one who was streaming it, right? It was the 30 people at the top, but they're not gonna reveal anything because they want to go to Roblox and they want to win $1 million, right?
This one is,
So
hold up. Oh, oops. We got it.
so like Creek were like figuring it out, right? And there was this new area, right, with like
Oh,
this
you got
UFO, and there's like a couple of these sections like crash sites around the map, and we're all still trying to figure out what you had to do.
In the
But
where?
essentially, there was this ball in like a
You were
corner of the map, right? And you had to like move this ball and put it like in the slot, like here. Where's the ball? It should be somewhere around here. Right here. This ball, you have to
Across
take
the
it and you
map.
have to drive it all the way
we
across the
got-
map, right? And then once you finally put it in the slot that you had to,
One chat.
right here, up the ramp,
Type simple.
and the video froze. That's
And
quite nice. There we go. And then doing that would basically open up this sort of
Yes,
keypad
the
over
last
here, right? So you had to go to all those UFO crash site locations, and you had to keep note of all of the these images, right? So I was going back in my stream and looking for when I saw them, right? And then eventually, I think I got it, and then that's literally like all you had to do
These boys.
for it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
And at this stage, mostly everybody was ahead of me. Oh yeah, I forgot to rank these games. So I'd say Regretivator wasn't bad. Regretivator was pretty good. Tower Defense, I just suck at those games, but it was like decently designed. And the relief that I feel after I beat a Tower Defense game always feels the best. So I'd say it's like fine. And then what was after that? Petsum 99, worst game, 0 out of 10. Because it was so difficult to figure out. I don't know why the developer made it that hard. He faced so much backlash after the event ended, and then he went on Twitter and he was like mad. He was like, "Why are you guys blaming me? It's $4 million. I'm not giving you any hints, right?" Which is, I guess, understandable. But like, you know, I spent 2.5 hours sitting here killing myself, bro. And it was like, oh no, I didn't mean to click that, bro. Okay, anyways. So next game was Untitled Boxing Game. And there was some cryptic text, and this was written in G's script, which yields this, which is the place ID of UBG. Like, apparently, like okay, I guess. And now this one was pretty absurd, right? You have to try and figure out what to do in this game. I don't know who figured this out. But if you go behind the ring at the back, there was actually this rope that you could climb up, and it would actually teleport you to the specific area you had to go. So all the way down here at this end, behind this, there was like a little rope that you could climb. And let's see, let me just fast forward to the part where I actually get up to it, because I ended up fighting all of the dudes again, right? So right here.
Okay, do we go this way?
So when Creek figured it out, that's when I started going, and all those people were gathering around here
Stop
too,
the void,
So you
I
could
will guide
jump
you
up there.
upwards.
right? And you could see this rope right here.
I got it.
I think this game was pretty well designed, you know. I think it was really good.
Okay.
It was challenging,
This way.
but the only reason I would rank this low is because it's probably like 1 a.m. and I'm actually like fried. Like my brain is genuinely gone.
Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah.
And then basically you have to like speed dash forward and like spam until you reach like another platform, right?
This is it.
And then it'll give you this, right? But it's not actually, you know, it's supposed to happen. And then you would be teleported to this area where there's a bunch of like invisible or so platforms. They weren't fully invisible, but like kind of. And it was kind of like hard to figure out where to go, right? It was like maze and blah blah blah. You walk the whole thing, and then eventually you have to actually like play the game by fighting somebody and like learning the mechanics, right, of like blocking and defending and whatever. And like I could not figure out how to do this late at night. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm just lost, bro. I was like, my brain. I don't think I was all there, bro. I think I was mentally ill at this point, bro. And then the next game was IT Girl, which is kind of like a Dress to Impress style game. And the clue for that was Under the Bridge. It was one of the sparkling events, right? And if you look in the texture, apparently you could see it girl or it girl, whatever it is, right here at the bottom. If I hover my mouse over it, you can't really see it, but like right above my mouse, right there. So if you look at that, you can see the IT girl logo visible. So
On the
yeah,
makeup table in the round.
and 10 trying to figure out what to do here because this was like semi weird in the beginning. But basically you had to like
During the
queue into like the lobby area, or you had to queue into this. I don't even remember. Right there. So you have to look for three of those things, and then the battery, right? And then there's a battery right there. I don't know if you could see it. If you go back a frame, you could probably see it. Um,
maybe
and then after you use that, after you collect all three of those, then you had to go. You do you have to go inside of the round, like the actual round itself, or no? You would have to where?
Oh, I see it.
Right there. There was the third battery, and then it would spawn the cutscene, right? Blah blah blah, and then it would be this like semi fun little puzzle lab thingy that you had to do. But I'm pretty sure the codes were the same for everybody, so I just didn't even look for the rest of the pieces, and I just inputted what I saw because they didn't bother to randomize it, right? Um, so you just walk around this lab like solving puzzles, and then you grab this, and then you like enter a password here.
Password.
here we know how to
Wait, and then you eventually get to this giant boss fight where you have to free all the people, right? And unskippable cutscene, of course. And then yay, I did it, got the mega token, and at this stage, it's 24 out of 25 games. I still have an hour and 46 left of minutes left of torture, pure torture to endure before I finally can put my mind at ease from this event. But nonetheless, the journey that I came along this way was pretty good. And also, if you're watching this video right now and you make it up to this section, thank you. If you've watched it through, the support actually means a lot, you know. I'm really grateful that you watched this video, whether you watching it because you actually like the content or because you're like you think I'm a cool person. Uh Thank you. I don't really know what else to say. It means a lot to me though. But if you see this, type Luffy's the GOAT in the comments, and I will immediately heart you if I see that. Yeah, but nobody's gonna see this. Anyways, the next game is obviously Fish because out of the 25 games, there's only one remaining. And of course, the clue for it was in the lobby, and it said this, which is like, gee whiz, I wonder what game this could be. But now the thing is, what do we do in Fish? And I think at this point, when I queued into Fish, even though it was so much longer later, not everybody had actually done it. Not actually everybody had completed the event,
sand.
right? But people were already like figuring out what to do, and they already knew blah 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 blah, you know.
This is the mega token. This is the mega token, chat. This is the mega token.
And then you had to go to this area, and you had to spin the pillars in a certain way. I forgot what the specific way was, but there was a way that you turn the pillars, and then it would open.
Have to get the,
Oh, you had to.
the letters that
You had
are
to
on
get.
the thing.
You had to like get a fish. I don't even remember, bro. I'm not even sure. But anyways, regardless, after you open the door, you could interact with the pillars and line them up properly, and then the door would open. So
Okay, we gotta hurry.
then there's like a little cutscene, right? Nice. And I'm actually fried at like if you thought I was fried before, at this stage I was genuinely fried because there was a little maze and you had to beat it before your oxygen ran out, or else I don't know what happens because I beat it before my oxygen ran out. And then basically you had to catch like a certain number of fish that would like represent the music notes or something, and then you'd like give them in order to the dude. So there was a sequence here, right, where you could play it. Oh no, sorry. So you had to go and talk to the. I don't know when I actually figured this out, but there's a guy in this little tunnel to the right. And then there would be like a melody. There would be a melody of the fish, right? So he would play you a certain melody. You had to remember that melody and go place the fish in the order of the tones that were being um, played by the Cthulhu, because each fish had like a specific note that they represented, and there was a certain order of those notes you had to do for the Cthulhu, and you just had to get all of those fish and then put them in the slots, and you could like use this after you caught a fish to listen to the tone of that fish and then put it in the slot. And basically after you did that, the door would finally open,
Fixes the dust over.
and you had a limited time to do this. You had to do it before that timer ran out, by the way.
This is it right
And
here.
then finally I got it. And I wasn't sure if I got the token yet, right?
25 mega
But
tokens.
spoiler alert, I didn't, because there was one more thing you had to do in this game before you get it.
Okay, so this.
I was like, wait, what? I didn't get it, but you just had to go back to the starter island, which is Moosewood. And oh wait, I had a
Let's just look.
verified person there, and you have to go back and talk to this dude originally, and then he gives you the token. And that, my friends, is 25 out of 25 games in this glorious event done. And this is my second favorite Roblox event of all time. The only thing that beats this is RB Battles, and the only thing that will beat this is RB Battles. Unless Roblox start coming out with more events like these, this is what would actually make me happy. Like, I love doing events like these, and if Roblox came out with another Mega Hunt edition, but like, even if it wasn't for the money, if they just did something like this with all the clues that you have to solve and games in like a certain order, like, I would give anything to just do something like this again, or even to see RB Battles Season 4 if they had the funds. Like, RB Battles Season 2 came out in 2022, like, already at the end in December. I'll probably do a recap for Season 3 too, but Season 3 came out in 2022 December. Like, dude, that was almost 4 years. Well, not almost, but like, in December it'll be 4 years ago, and that means that Season 2 will have been 6 years ago. Like, that's how long it's been since we've had the last season, just because they don't have enough funds to do it. So like, it's very sad, but I would really like there to be another RB Battles. Roblox, I don't even know what they're doing. They're changing up their event styles, so I don't know if we'll get another event, even maybe like the original Hunt edition, right? Or even like the classic. I don't know if we'll ever get something like that again, but if we do, that would really be great. I wouldn't even mind, because I kind of like those events, you know. But this one, out of all those, this one absolutely outshined the other ones. Like, the cleverness in some of the games was amazing, and I just like to go hunting for stuff like these. Like, for example, there was a piggy quest I released a couple of days ago, and that quest was like, you had to like figure out what to do based on like the clues. Like, you had to go to gallery on the swarm game mode, and then like get the hammer, and like you could smash 3 random paintings that would give you 2 batteries and a remote, and then blah 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 blah. You could go search up the 3 Vegeteers piggy skin quest if you want to actually see what I'm talking about. I didn't make a video on it because I didn't feel like there was a need to, because there was already tutorials, and Minitoon himself made a tutorial anyways. But yeah, that's getting off topic. So now, with all 25 games done, there was only one thing to do before I could finally call it quits with this event: the puzzle. Because like I said, the final batch of events was done. 7 badges, the last 7 badges were all completed. And at this stage, I'm pretty sure people already beat it, but I just wanted to finish this game and go to sleep, because
25.
that is just when I wanted to go to sleep, man. And I had to walk through, and you could see the fish clue right there, perfectly centered for the people. But I don't even think they needed to go and back into here and look for the fish, right? But you could see all the clues. You could see a clue right there, right? For whichever game that was. And right here, you're not allowed to share or collaborate with other players, but I don't know if I should say this or not, but I mean, it's a year later. I might as well say it. I found somebody that actually figured it out, and because at this stage, like, I technically finished all 25 badges at like 3 a.m., but I had to spend an additional like hour till 4 a.m. like doing this puzzle, like alone, another hour on this puzzle. Um, and I just like I was so fried. And when somebody beat it, I was just like, I'm just gonna watch because they made like I beat it. It wasn't meant to be a tutorial, but it was like I beat it, and it showcased them beating the entire puzzle. It was like a 20-minute long thing because they didn't cut it down. And I just watched it, and I just like went to the beginning, and I followed it step by step eventually to do it because I was actually so out of it, bro. And like finally, let me just skip towards the end. If you want to watch me screw my brain trying to do this puzzle, go right ahead. I wouldn't recommend you to, but go right ahead because I don't mind the views. And here I was finally making real progress. Yeah, slowly but surely. I had to move a couple more pieces, but after this,
What? Oh wait, boom. Did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. Put that there.
finally,
Boom.
I beat the last puzzle. Oh, whoops. Flame frags. Finally, with the last piece placed in, I could ascend. Took me however much that is. I don't know. And I could finally walk through the gates of heaven to the final area.
Oh god. It's a cape. Cape of fragmentation. The cape of refraction.
Instantly spent Robux, lol. And these 10 people are the 10 people who made it to Roblox headquarters. And for reference, this guy right here, Shafe, he is the one who ended up winning the tournament at Roblox. And Shafe actually is from New York, like me. So shout out to Shafe because I'm pretty sure he had a job interview this day, but he quit just to go to Roblox headquarters to maybe win $1 million, which he did. So congrats to Shafe, my fellow New Yorker. Good job to you. And yeah, well, Twisted Pandora got 29. Yo, I haven't seen Mike in a long time, dude. I haven't actually seen him, but I haven't watched one of his videos in a long time.
I got the Diadem of Resurgence.
And then I was like, I made it this far. I might as well waste 1K Robux goldifying this.
Bling final.
I would have liked that top 50 grand prize because it actually looked cool.
We do it.
By the way, the Arcs of Resurgence look terrible. The Diadem looks better, but like, I just want to flex that I have it in my inventory because I did this, and this event is never going to be able to be doable again. I hope. So, yeah. I just scrolled through looking at all the way I came over those. Now that I think about it, it actually was over like 6 days, or like no, wait, what am I saying? It actually was like over. It was just 8 days, like 1 week, like 1 week of the entire event. Like after 1 week, and then like maybe like the event extended until they actually competed in the finals. That was it. It was done after this. But yeah.
Item called.
But you know, I really like the little wave of nostalgia that hit me after rethinking about everything again. I just like to explain these events, but I don't really have anybody to explain it to, so that's why I guess I made a video, so that maybe me in the future will come back and watch this. Hopefully it's like decently edited. I'm not trying to do anything exquisite because I don't really know how, but yeah. So thank you for watching this however long journey of my recap of the Hunt Mega Edition that happened at March 13th, 2025 to March 21st, 2025, or at least that's when I did it, well, rather, I beat it on March 22nd in the early morning. And after this, I finally went and got a good sleep, like a great nap. And actually, uh, yeah, I don't really know what to say. Thank you for watching. If you watched the whole video through this point, and at 10:54 p.m. EST, Thursday, March 5th, 2026, about 1 week and 1 day. No. Wait, what? 5 plus 7 is 12. Wait, did the Mega Hunt release on the 12th? I could have sworn it was the 13th. But I'm 100% sure I did the first stream on a Thursday. Wait, was March 13th? Oh yeah, March 13th was a Thursday last year. Sorry. So this is Leveler signing out on at 10:55 p.m. Thursday, March 5th, 2026, recapping Thursday, March 13th, 2025 at whatever time it was. So, yeah, I hope you like the wallpaper and thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.